All right. 806 on the ticker right here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and some parts of the rest of the world. Welcome to WEFM's Activated Mornings for today, Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. And now this morning in studio, taking you up to 9:45, we've got Mr. Kingsley Defreitas and yours truly, Christal. We're going to be talking about a few things, one or two things that are happening locally. The WhatsApp number to link us up is 430, sorry, that should be 457 9994. And the number to call is 457 9997. Old habits die hard. All right. You can check in, say good morning. And of course, we're open to a bit of greetings this morning because today is a big day for WFM. April 18th, 26 years today.
It's a big day for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines because I'm looking forward to hear what the Court of Appeal is going to say in terms of the state that the government is trying to request, and I won't have to take anybody to say that they are being treated with contempt. But it's also an important day in the memory of my thoughts, and I'm hoping that people listening to us will stay tuned to WEFM through the entire course of the day and join us at 8 o'clock tonight. And let me remind myself that tonight's program will be sponsored by Basil's Bar. So we're hoping that you will listen. But Christal, you mentioned.
If you can just, I don't know, the microphone, I'm not hearing. Just.
You sure you plug in?
Yeah, it's plugged in. Just, like I'm very close to the microphone here, so you can hear like all down in my throat. I want you to do that too, so we can hear you clearly. So it sounds like from a distance, so just move closer to it.
You hear me?
Yeah. It's a little better. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, right. There's a flu going on, okay? If I get it there.
Crossing my fingers.
There's a bad giant flu going on. Yeah, so drink plenty of water and like that. Yeah, so like I say, it's an important day on the calendar for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and those teachers, 150 of them and other persons are looking forward to hear what the appeal judge may say or may not say in favor of the government. So it's an important day. And I believe, Christian, that particular judge already read all the information involved in this matter before him or her. And then what Tilly is just going to do is for him or her to just deal with the formalities as well and deny the government the state of their plan to get the judges escalated thoughts out there, and I'm hoping that the plaintiff will win and we will see where the government go from there. But we know that already decided to appeal the position of Esco Henry, but we just want to know if that sit didn't take place today, if we could see that the government could be cited for contempt. Okay, so that's for the person who's got it. But another thing, I see wondering what you thoughts.
No, go on.
No, I see wondering someone if you didn't like the comment there.
No. Don't read into my facial expressions too much.
Right. No, but Christal, another thing that is been kind of bothering me over the last couple of days is the issue of crime seems to fluctuate. We were so happy that we see the issue of the homicide and killings falling off, and then we had two where one of the person who died in the killing, and both of them from a distance. Okay, and then I often wonder why, Christal, if it is fair for us to suggest when we hear somebody get killed and they get killed, they are involved in orthodox behavior or suspect behavior. Do your thoughts take you there when you hear a particular person?
Sometimes I wonder, was this person involved in anything? Yeah. Something that most persons would not know, but people on the ground might know, And then I thought, maybe it's it just happened, and it's just unfortunate that, as part of the robbery, the perpetrators ended up killing.
I hope that a part of your statement is really true related to the last killing the guy with the Rasta hair plot.
Queen's Drive.
Yeah, I know him from a distance because um, a friend of mine who went to school, I think, used to be his fiancée, and every time I see him, he's always cool. And when I heard that he got killed, I said, my thoughts took me where he's living, where he's living. Wonder why. Who was targeted and who eventually got him killed. And Christian, it's unfair that sometimes you may live in a hotspot area like in part that at the hall or in Glen or some place where you have some suspect activities, and all of a sudden you pass through there, you get killed or somebody get killed, and then you hear people saying, I wonder if this person was involved in any juggling. And then I wonder, do the police consider those theory? Do they make the extra effort to do a proper investigation of the person who's killing? I mean, I kind of worried about
Why
that.
would you ask that question if the police are competent?
No, I'm not sure that they're not competent. They may be competent in what they do, but I have heard a traffic police officer say that it's a drivers out they just use as punching bag. So I mean, they go out there to target a particular van driver, a particular minibus operator, and then you hear somebody get killed, and you hear they say, okay, you might hear a police officer say it, or you may hear a citizen say, it. Oh, a person get killed, man, that let's work for the police, man. He may involved in hanky panky, so let you go by this. I wonder if that thoughts go through the investigator minor police who are entitled to doing investigation on the killings or homicides that taking place. Because we live in a 2 by 4 country. And I tell you, if you steal or fail hard, you get your code in Calico. If you go in Parks Avenue and you do something, most of the time they supposed to run out to bottom town because there's a perception that there are people in those particular areas who are doing things that they shouldn't do. And I often wonder if the police do a proper investigation or they just drag the feet and hoping that this killing will just be swept under the rug, and then after like what surgery did say, and 9 days stop, people just say, well, we be he don't gone. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, losing a life in a natural way is hard. And losing a child for a parent, our parents, by somebody coming and killing them. Imagine somebody coming to kill you, put on a hoodie, they don't want you to see who they are. And they shoot you. Shoot you so extremely bad that they make sure you're dead. So they don't want you to have a chance to identify them. And then you hear people say, oh, I wonder what he or she are involved in. Do they take somebody merchandise? Do they didn't pay what they're supposed to pay? And then we deal with human beings. Former commissioner of police, Randolph Toussaint, said when he was alive, the police is a reflection of today's society because the members of the public who have become police officers, and they say they're alive today, but what he said they make some sense. I'm a bit worried about the issue of crime and homicide in St. Vincent. But on the other side of that, I want to take the opportunity to thank the people of St. Vincent and Grenadines to make the tourism season as good as what it is. It started in November 15th and it continued to the end of the month. And we haven't heard any tourist related problems with people snatching their bags here, then everywhere. And that's a good sign that people understand that the importance and how fragile this tourism industry is. So people did boots on the ground by Camelo Gonzalez did work in this area where we haven't had a problem with anybody dealing with pulling the people bags and slashing people gold chain and all that kind of thing.
That's good.
That's definitely good.
It needs to be a holistic thing for the
Yeah.
entire country and not just
Well, I
Um,
agree with you. How are we going to transform that throughout the length and breadth of things again? That people need to be more responsible in taking care of each other. People might say, well, where you want me to go? Hold your hand and walk across the street? No, no, no. You just observe. And if you see any suspicious activities, it has to have a police officer you can trust. You can call Trevor Bailey. You might ask him to check Miss Karen Bojo and tell him, And I can guarantee you that the information will be tested and he will call your name. Okay? And because we need to see, as Christians, see that transformation where the tourism industry seems to be going very well. And if I was the Minister of Tourism like Carla James and the CEO of the Tourism Authority currently Grand Beach, I would be proud of Vincent and especially persons who are involved in the tourism directly and indirectly that we do and did a good job so far. I hope that I'm not putting a lot of people say goat mouth and the next three boat are coming to the conclusion of this this month. But
They're not bored.
let's hope that we can do well. But Christian, do the issue of crime as you work in the media, do it bother you or is just you neither here nor there?
If it doesn't bother somebody, maybe something is a little wrong. But I said the other day that crime is in every society, but the level of crime is what we should be really concerned about, because whether or not we like it, I don't think that it could ever get down to zero. And as much as we would love to have that happen, because there's so many things that are outside of our control. Sometimes I question at what level should we be comfortable. But it's never a situation where we should become complacent with, okay, so this year there's a reduction, next year there's a further reduction, and so on and so forth. It's not that we should ever become complacent with any of our activities. I think sometimes what happens with us is we start out with one mission and we fall off because things are looking better. But the reason things are looking better is because we have been consistent with whatever initiatives. To see better days in terms of crime and criminal activity is going to take some time. And that's something I think people need to kind of understand and grasp, that you have to be persistent with your initiatives. It has to be a holistic approach from the top, come straight down to the bottom. People have to feel confident in the police system as well. Now, confidence, there's a difference between perception and reality. The reality might be that it is a confident system. Perception might be based on past events, even though they might be trying to fix the problems that they might have had. The perception would still remain, and that would have a greater impact on people than the present reality. So people may be very reluctant to say, oh, I saw John Doe, I saw this. My thoughts went straight to the story on Searchlight now, covering Paul Yard's dilemma with the lack of lighting.
Just to interject there, Crystal, political activists made some comments and commentary concerning Pouliot, okay? Just take your memory right there. I can't say what she said. You will not repeat what the guy was. It was not a nice thing to say because persons who live at Pouliot are human. But let me tell you something. Passing down there.
I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
Passing down there, Crystal, sometimes when you look at the way the people carry themselves and the way they behave themselves, you wonder why they end up at Pouliot, why they were given chances. I went over to the entrance to see the sign where the police put up. I see a guy with a disability, he has one leg. I see another guy with a disability who has lost one of his arms. If you hear the combination of foul language that came out of the people's mouth, and the involving vendors, they're selling merchandise on the side of the road. It's the lifestyle and the character, the way they behave, turn off people. That poor is today. That place they want to just clean up. The place want clean up. Too much criminal activities, people involved in suspect behavior are living in those particular areas. And something needs to be done about that. You may say it's about a hotspot area, yes. But what taking place at Pouliot sometimes is a little bit discouraging for people who are human and have humanity in them. But Jesus, I just can't deal with some of the people who carry themselves the way they carry themselves in a particular area.
So what should be done? What could be done or what should be done? I think For areas that are quote unquote hotspots, the police in the past have done things to try to curb the criminal activity in certain quote unquote hotspots.
And just to interject the Christal, there's a former police officer, used to call him Red John, and Mama, you know him. He said to tell you that he listens to the program at one time and he feel an absence in his life because he was one of the quote unquote robust policeman.
Oh,
And as you
maybe you
say,
should come back and do some more training.
as you say, if they had that kind of police like Red John patrolling those areas, guys would have think twice.
Okay. So the police have done things in areas that are quote unquote hotspots in the country where you will be seeing higher levels of criminal activity. They've put mobile police stations. They have patrolled areas more frequently. Certain areas they would obviously patrol more frequently than others. In Glen, they had a mobile police station there for quite some time. Where it was, it's no longer there. But I don't know what's happening. But Glen seems to be. Glen is a good place. Glen is a good place. Thank you very much. In other areas,
people live in Glen, it should, eh?
in other areas, they have put mobile police stations as part of the initiative to combat crime. Now, if this area is an area of concern for criminal activity, why not do something a little extra to deal with it? People of Poliad have been asking for electricity and a bit of lighting for a while. And I remember that being an issue maybe 2 years ago. And to date, nothing. Honestly, I don't think anything will ever come of it because they have told us there are intentions to use that area and to relocate persons. But in the meantime, is it that, and it obviously has to come from the government, is it that, all right, if we do this, then that is going to attract more persons to come to the area? Whenever there's a plan in place to use a particular site, you're going to find ways to deal with the issues in that area. So what is the real reason they're not given electricity? Or at least a bit of lighting. Now, on the flip side to that, while lack of lighting would make criminal activity easier to carry out, if somebody wants to commit a crime, I don't think, once they put their mind to it, I don't think, light or no light, that is not going to stop them. We have had homicides in broad daylight. We've had cutlass attacks in broad daylight. We've had slaying in broad daylight in front of people. We've had shootings in Tokyo in the day. Stabbings in the day. I'm not saying this to justify not putting in the lights, but go back to base. Go back to the core problem. Why are they intending or committing the criminal activity in the first place? Because I don't think anything is going to stop them. They'll be friends drinking, carrying out, bar hopping, and still would go and kill their brother or their sister.
Yeah, that happened recently where I see Justice Brian Cotter send somebody to prison.
Yeah. On the leeward side, that's what I'm talking about.
Same thing that you're saying.
Brothers of Georgetown and still kill the other person. Once you have the intent, so the problem is, one of the big issues I find, why you have the intent in the first place. Light or no light, it may make it harder for it to happen. It might prolong it, but if you have intent, you're going to do it.
Yeah. Well, our Prime Minister is currently in Trinidad making a presentation on the issue, and I heard insults of some of his things, and he suggested that lifestyle of men who is attracted to pretty women with their fancy hairstyles and the nails, and so men doing things that they shouldn't do to maintain their women are side tricks. Do you think that lifestyle could drive somebody to have that sort of mindset that you just said a while ago? Because hey, everything that you say is true. We have a slaying of a girl right in the old bus stop, where a man pull out, cut off. Oh my father. He had a mindset to do that. A guy took out a gun and shoot somebody high daytime up at lane. Remember Christmas Eve at Christal? In lane upstate. Or actually, Lord of mercy. I tell you, I don't know what.
Drive-bys, carnival time, people going out to enjoy themselves, man. Is what you have in here. And if there's jealousy and if there's like something going on, there's some feud. And it seems to be pretty serious enough for you to want to take the person's life.
How would you respond to somebody who listens to you? Can't call you and say, Christal, we were told by Dr. Gonzalez when he's still in opposition. Give me a chance to be Prime Minister, I'll be tough on crime and the cause of crime. Do you think Dr. Gonzalez deliver in that?
What do you think? What do you think?
I don't.
You have an opinion about it. I want to hear what you think.
I don't think he delivered.
Okay, well then just say what you think.
Why I say I don't think he delivered? We had Commissioner Miller, who served. We had Commissioner Michael Charles, who sits here every Friday. Don't use the opportunity to deal with his experience as a police officer to help to dent the issue of crime. We have Mr. Hathaway, who served as commissioner, but in my opinion, didn't have enough time as commissioner of police to implement some of his skills. We have Colin John, who is highly trained, and the deputy commissioner is a criminologist by profession. But yet we have that cycle you just spoke about a while ago, where individual people with their serious-minded problems are killing people in high daytime. So when I see a character on my TV, and I breaking on my TV screen and say, it's light, it's light, it's light. Before I know who he is, I should even pay attention to what he says. You understand? But I know them by teach. Send your thoughts at 45-799-94, or you can give us a call, as Christal say, on the telephone at 45-799-97. Send your thoughts, and we see if you could put things in place to combine effort to deal with the issue of criminal activities and crime and killings and homicide in this. You notice that while me and Christal spoke this morning on the issue, we didn't use the loose, strong word, because I don't use that word, okay? Because not every killing and a homicide is actually a murder, okay? So we don't use that strong word here. And whenever we refer to children, and they are not kids, okay? Kids is a product from goats. Yeah, right.
All right, let's take a break. It's 8. Never mind. The call is coming through. Let's just take it one time. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Christal. Morning, Kingsley.
Good morning. Welcome.
Christal, you remember when you was on Extreme and you did interview the Prime Minister, you did told him something like you ain't feel comfortable or something, so when he did get upset with you?
Yes, please. I when I was the host, so I don't remember that. That wasn't the word, but go ahead.
He told him back now on, he's just pretty woman like you, making the crime now. But he said you the name or nothing, but he's a pretty woman, so it's like you.
Well, Christal is pretty, so.
Oh, that's
right. It's like she making the crime.
Okay.
She making the man and them do thing now the way.
Okay.
But I heard the comment and I just mentioned it a while ago.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if I like pretty women, they come at an expense, okay? Yeah, all right. Okay. I come to the Prime Minister, who is the Minister of National Security, and promise that he'll be tough on crime and the cause of crime. So he just identified an area where he thinks is creating a negative impact, that young men who want to have nice, pretty expensive women are driven by their quest to get money to fulfill these fancy ladies. Prime Minister, you're great. Yeah, you're good. You're going to.
Now we'll take the break and then we're going to come back.
That's the sound of your animals. Strong, healthy, and delivering yields you love. That didn't just happen. It began with you feeding them only the best. East Caribbean Feeds. Rest assured, we only produce your feeds with premium ingredients. No hormones, no animal byproducts. Just everything your animal needs. Only the best. East Caribbean Feeds from Maximum Nutrition.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
How we live? Hybrid life, living on the hybrid life. What you feeling? Hybrid life, living on the hybrid life. End of one time we now watch phone bill. That's with the contract is a sure thing. How with the new floor plan name? Hybrid. If you don't know about it, then they better slide it. How we live? Hybrid life, living on the hybrid life. What you feeling? Hybrid life, living on the hybrid life. Jump in the hybrid life, living on the hybrid life. What you feeling? Hybrid life, living on the hybrid life.
With Phone's new hybrid plan, postpaid and prepaid come together as one with no overages, no contract, no deposit, and no catch.
Hybrid.
Bundle up now and get 15 gigabytes of data and 2,000 anywhere minutes for only $55 per month, plus a discounted smartphone.
You see the new phone plan that Flo made? You could turn postpaid to prepaid.
Whatever you are celebrating, birthdays, anniversaries, engagements, retirement, or just celebrating life, the place to be is at Basil's Bar Kingstown. Established for over 38 years, we are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with an exquisite ambiance. We have a set menu and 3 a la carte menus to choose from, and we are flexible to all requests. We go above and beyond to serve you. Basil's Bar Kingstown, where it's more than just a meal, it's an adventure. Call for reservations at 457-2713.
Content creators, you live in content heaven. This is your chance to adrift in paradise, dive into adventure, or savor the flavors of our 32 islands and keys. Enter the Ministry of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, Our Islands, Our Vibes Content Creators Competition from May to November 2023. Create a series of videos showcasing Our Islands, Our Vibes. Grand prize, a weekend stay at Palm Island Resort along with $500 cash. Second prize, a smart device from Digicel. Third prize, $500 cash. You'll receive Prime bundles during the competition, plus have a chance to win monthly prizes. Register by Friday, 28th April. Visit at Tourism SVG on Facebook or at Vinci Tourism on IG or call 457-1502 for more info.
Tourism is everyone's business. Yeah. Live it, love it, embrace it.
3, 2, 1. WEFM is SVG.
All right, welcome back. The number to call is 457-9997. The number to WhatsApp, 457-9994. This is today's edition of Activated Mornings. It's April 18th, 2023. It's now 24 minutes onto the 9 o'clock hour. In studio this morning, talking a bit of some trending stories, Mr. Kingsley Defreitas and yours truly, Christal. We're also live on Facebook and YouTube at WEFM 99 SVG. And of course, you can follow us on all the other social media platforms that we're on, including TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at the same handle at WEFM 99 SVG. Now,
you're very responsive on the WhatsApp and post them.
The PM is referring to gold diggers. That is what the PM is referring to. Look up the word.
Who are gold diggers?
People who get into relationships for financial benefits. There is no love, there is no intent, there is no planning, there is no nothing. They just want the money and the good life.
I never experienced that kind of woman in my life yet, so
You never came across a gold digger?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, so for context sake, let me read a bit of, and this one is coming from IWN. Some men kill to mind pretty high maintenance women, PM Gonsalves says. All right, the call is coming through, so let me take the call first before. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Christal. How are you?
I am well. How are you doing? Welcome.
Yes, welcome. Yeah. Just you were having some conversation yesterday in and out. You were talking about Annisville for some reason or the other, and I came up with an idea a few years ago, and I would like to lay it down. Now, you've got, you know how many airports we have, by the way? Kingsley, are you there?
Is it 5?
Yes, sir. I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
Annisville,
Okay. All right. We have 5 airports, as you say?
I think it's 5.
Approximately 5.
Right. So we can say that also Joshua is decommissioned, and we have another airstrip now. Now, Kingsley, have you heard about an air park? AIRPARK. You can look it up online. Okay. Now you have an airstrip in the north of St. Vincent. You remember?
Yes.
It's the strip at Rabaca, up in Rabaca anyway.
That's a long time ago, though.
Yeah, what I was saying, right? If the tourism department, if they want to consider doing an air park up there, I would suggest go and speak to the French people either in Martinique or Guadeloupe, because you know the French have a lot of light aircraft. Now, an air park is like this. You see how it's situated in Rabaca? What they will do is set a date where persons coming from Guadeloupe, Martinique, St. Martin, St. Barth, and Cayenne with light aircraft. I'm not talking twin engine, I'm talking single engine aircraft. What they do, they all get together like 50 and 60 planes. They park them on the side of the strip, which is grassy strip, and they set up the tents, and then they have the barbecue, and they have a session for like 2-3 days, and then they pick up from there and they return to their respective destinations. Yes?
Yes.
So I would like to suggest, have a look at this area. Have a look at this area and see if we're the only island in the Caribbean that can have a runway under the volcano and it's not being utilized in a clever way to bring money into the country. So I would suggest give it to the French, or bring in the French people, which the government don't have to hurt up the head. Give it to the French people and let them see if they could do something with it and generate income. The only thing the government will have to put up there is one single custom officer, probably one police officer, and one immigration officer. You follow me?
Yes. So you think that would be a good idea for them to exploit? Because I was going to ask you something though. At the international airport at Argyle, in the just conclude Easter season, I saw a lot of single planes. I see a lot of double engine planes park up at the Argyle runway. And when I asked where the post is gone, they're gone to Musty because they're going to Union, and the aircraft just sit there. And I think they need to put something in place where the plane could get clean and have them maintained. So I think that your idea is good, but we could probably exploit it and see what happens.
Yeah, but sometimes too, you see, what happened to some of these corporate people, the aircraft is not able to take the field itself. So they will leave it at Argyle and go down. If you get me, if you get what I'm saying, especially some in Mustique, the jets are not able to make the runway. In other words, it's too short. So they would land here and further go down. But what I'm speaking about is with the air park is strictly a lot of single engine, or you call it general aviation or light airplane aviation. So that is a kind of aviation with men who have money have their own plane. If you understand what I mean, or people who are successful business people will go and buy a plane and they fly the wife and the family and the 2 children around on weekend. That's how the life goes out here. This has not reached here.
You remember
again?
You remember the plane that we used to spray banana with? We used to got this spray plane.
Right.
You know,
It's
somebody showed interest to buy the aircraft, right?
Yes.
Yes. I think
Well,
that's
the guy, Mr. Richardson, right? When I went to see him a couple of years ago, I think it's 2003, I wanted to strap a camera to the struts of the aircraft to get some pictures back then.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the what you call this thing? The GoPro didn't come out as yet. GoPro came out years after. So every time I did that, the camera got destroyed or blow off.
Yeah.
You understand?
But Mr. Richardson is currently in St. Vincent at the moment. I saw him up yesterday at the Bulago area.
Yeah. So I as a person like yourself who is around airports, etc., I would suggest that you can make a pitch at this, and maybe Christal could look at it and see exactly where this what he's talking about, and that's something that both of you will participate in, because it becomes different. We're the only one with a runway under the volcano. The only one in the Caribbean and many places around the world with a runway under the volcano. Utilize it. If you want, Kingsley, I will write you a plan and give it, and you go and carry it to the government and them.
I know exactly.
You understand me?
It's a good idea. I know exactly.
I will come directly to you. Yeah, I will come directly to you and hand you a plan. The next time I go to Aga, I'll hand you a plan and say, hey, go and carry that, and here is the names of the people willing to fly in and come and help you. Okay. Not to put expense on the government, but to help open up the tourism bracket.
So that's okay.
Now, you were speaking about murder. Yeah. You were speaking about murders and shooting and killing and things. You have to really examine these killings a little more, right? You're gonna have situations whereby man take man thing and man ain't come back and pay man, and man tell man thing the thing lost and different things like that. You're going to have a lot of that. But personally, nobody's gonna walk up to you, Kingsley or Christal, and just shoot you just so. That cannot happen. It does not happen. You get me? But they're saying the crime is high because they calculate the population size and the amount of shootings or whatever it is. It's not gonna stop. You have to try and make things a little safe. But as you don't know, people will beef against people. This is a different generation. This generation is younger than us. You should already know if you're gonna get in an argument with probably a teenager or you're a very young person, they will not hesitate to pull on you, Kingsley. You know that too, not so?
Yes. What you just said makes sense, you know. What you just said, because myself and Chris had a discussion this morning, and that is where I was going. Nobody is just going to walk up to you and shoot you. You know why? You're not involved in no hanky-panky trading them and take the money and take the motion and then you want to pay them. So when you do that, you put the target on yourself.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but the problem is too, right? They could be looking for you for 4 or 5 days and can't find you. And as they see you, you buy a bar with another man. So the thing of it is, they ain't gonna fire at the man, they're gonna fire at you. But handguns, as I say, is getting more and more accurate. But when I trained to use handguns in South Africa, the white man told me it is inaccurate. Okay?
Yes.
Handguns. Where I had to learn to use it, and still some handguns carry your hands up. So sometimes when they aim at you, they hit 3 or 4 people around.
I want to see what they kill me.
So that's the psychology of it. But when I arrived in South Africa in 1994, Kingsley, you don't want another country that is more violent than that. They actually give you a handbook to tell you when you're getting robbed what to do. Because if they want your van, Kingsley, and you come up in the night and you ain't see or you ain't hear anything, there's a short whistle the criminals in South Africa just give you. All you do is just hand the keys to the person and walk away. I've seen a lot of that. So listen, keep up the good work.
Yes, and thanks
Stay
for
strong.
Yeah, thanks for calling. We will
give you a little support, brother. Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
What Christal, what you say makes sense, you know, and the issue. That is why I ask you all where your thoughts go when you hear somebody got shot at their business place or at their way home. Why you being targeted? Is the command taking you want to pay him? Yeah, you have to be careful. Yeah. So as Jews doing, I didn't say because of Satan we have to amplify what he said, because that is from looking on, paying attention and get to the experience.
No, the call coming through. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning to Christian.
Good morning.
Morning, my morning.
I mean, good morning to Christian. Good morning to Kingsley.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry for my error of that.
It's all right.
I can't want to call you name this morning. I still love you anyway.
No, but it's something. I spoke to somebody in Canada yesterday, and they mentioned you and your contribution. So I just simply said we are living in a small world, and we all need each other. I remember one another in different ways. So that is why I chuckled and actually asked myself, "Am I hearing the same post I spoke about yesterday?" Yeah. So that's
to the same person. I just tune in there.
Yeah.
I was doing some studying. After my study, I just turn on the radio.
Yeah.
And think. I heard the part where they said that it had been said that pretty woman were causing crime.
Pretty woman.
But
pretty woman putting young men in position to commit crime to finance their pretty women and their nice
but
stupid.
I ain't believe that.
Oh, you don't believe that? Okay.
I ain't believe that in a sense because men I know touching St. Vincent, even though they're so pretty and their head they disappear until they could get prettier. You understand? They could get prettier. Men don't like, some men rather, don't like women to harass and bully them.
And treat them. Yeah.
So, some of them, they could do certain things to satisfy the woman and go all out. But most of the time, as I see it, they do not kill for another woman. Only if they in fight. Only if they have fighting, a man fighting for man fighting with another man, and they might pull gun, right?
Yeah.
But not force it, maintain them. Most of the time, they're thief, right? Most of the time, it's one thief. But the reason for some of the crime in this island, there's a word saying, the devil find hand.
Work for either hands.
Work for either hand, right? If you have a generation of young people and wherever that is not working, you're sitting down and idling. But you expect they will go all out to get what means. Like, if someone come and say, why just sitting down somewhere, they line in somewhere, and you see they're desperate, they need. You understand?
Yeah,
the problem they will say, but I could make you get a $500 tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
I could get $1,000, and to like it's plenty money, kind of work for it.
Yeah.
And you make deal, and you go out, and you get yourself involved. And when you get yourself involved, one time you're coming out so easy, right?
Yeah.
Because they figure that you start to get into the party.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about politics. I'm talking about the group then.
Right, group.
You understand? So make it clear. The group. You find that you get into the group, and you start to know like a secret about what's going on now.
Yeah.
Can you let it go so easy?
Definitely not.
They will keep using you, and because of that, they figure that if you want to pull out, some of that things happen. If you want to pull out from this situation, okay, that's it for you, no. You understand me?
Yeah.
You go beyond, and especially if you make a deal and you ain't bring money yet, whatever you bring up what they're supposed to bring, or bring what they send you for. That is the problem. They will challenge you, they will give you time, and after they target you.
Definitely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And so it become like a gang.
Yeah.
And this situation quickly ain't just start just the other day. This situation start from way back, but it was not so rampant.
Yeah.
This situation start from way back on the sea when they can't find man. You know understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When men go out and they can't find them. I'm talking about fishermen. I'm talking about I ain't calling him back and forth from one country to the next country.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That start. But now, what happened? St. Vincent border open too much. It's wide. windows, not only barrel, guns coming to the people see, right? But it is in the border.
Definitely. We have
Is it the border? They need to, not the barrel, it's the border. They're going to open too much.
Yeah, you're definitely right.
The border is open too wide. And anything will come in at any time, any hour. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for an island like St. Vincent, they need more than one patrol. They call it the boat. They need more than one of that.
Yeah.
Coast Guard.
Yes.
They should be, Coast Guard is not to the park up for emergency. They're supposed to be on the sea at night time.
Yes.
You understand me? Because they have all the equipment.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
And they're patrolling on the sea.
Yes.
And if they get up and start to patrol, it'll be better. Because look at the gateway. The gateway is kind of one. Anybody can land the plane in kind of want to bring what they want, right?
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Mustique. They have UN Island. They have Pickle Island. And they could transform it right up to St. Vincent.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? They need to do more patrol, close up the border, protect the border, not just the land, protect the that way they fall. Use the boat, because even other islands I know I resign into, not because I don't have resign, amen, they protect the border when night time come. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they make agreement with other islands that they're wrong them. I go watch out, you watch out.
Yes.
So they combine with each other. And I need that the security need to be more tighter, cracked down. But as they say, when the head, I talk about the Prime Minister now, because the Prime Minister alone is do things, right? For other head, when they are head are encouraging and not doing anything we expect, the young people. The young people, in my closing, in this last one, the young people that need jobs. They need, you need to get them work. If you find work for them, not get them when for cut road, not just get them for a 6 month, but make them occupied. We've been sanctioned, we're growing up as working people, independent people, and my closing, we need to get back into the independency where we used to depend not on top of Papa, but depend upon our own selves to get whatever we want. God bless you.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes.
But that's a lot of thought there for wisdom. If you just want to go into a nutshell, she spoke about the importance of protecting our borders, and I agree with her. Because of our nature of being of a multi-island state, we need to see a little bit more emphasis placed on the issue of patrolling our border. She spoke about greed. Yes, people involved in illegal activities and criminal activities are all about greed. They find themselves doing something that they call a deal. And you know what? These are surrounded drugs and drug trafficking and money laundering. So when you hear some people lost their life at sea, it's because of greed and desperation and lack of patrol on our border. So that's the comprehensive presentation by the last caller, and I agree with that. Go ahead, Christal.
Question: how can you tell that there's lack of patrolling around our borders? What is the evidence to show that?
Because one time I went out to the Coast Guard base when Kane was commander, and I asked him about the issue of patrolling. And he told me patrolling is an important thing to do. But you see, if you know the amount of mechanism have to go in before they could even move one of the Coast Guard. So that is why.
How long ago was that?
About a year or two ago.
A year or two?
Yeah.
So within that time, things could have changed.
Well, I hope it changed for the better.
Okay. Because, I mean, it's a bit of I think it's a little unfair to say that there's lack of patrolling when we don't know what is happening within the last 6 months. Evidence of patrolling for us citizens would be, all right, somebody's caught here, somebody's caught there, somebody's caught down the road. That for us would equate to evidence that there is increased patrolling. But if they're increasing the patrolling, while also, I mean, because it's gonna cost, and then you have to manage the resources. We can't tell it from the outside because we're on land. We're not in the sea monitoring them patrolling. We can't say, okay, they're not patrolling enough. How can we, without reaching out to them and looking at a list, probably? But then again, that information I think should be confidential too.
I also understand what you say, because when you ask them about why they're not patrolling as often as we think they should, one thing you said, they say cost. If you do the amount of diesel they have to use in those boats to just make a runs, it's a mission again. So, as you say, it's a complex situation, and it should be given serious thought. And I agree with the last caller, why we are not have the evidence to show. But I believe that we need to see a little bit more patrolling of our borders. Because
Who monitors how often the Coast Guard patrols? We need to see
what
how are is there somebody looking? Is there somebody like packed up at maybe Calico or Villa Indian Bay to say, okay, Coast Guard patrolling, one, and to check to say, all right, let's see more patrolling. What is the evidence to show that, that's what I'm asking.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. All I got from them when I went to the workshop, Coast Guard and things again, Coast Guard, is to save lives. I never hear they say to protect borders.
Well, we spoke to the Coast Guard a couple of weeks ago.
You
and
did?
that's, yes, we have cop chat every Thursday and we talk about a lot of different things. And that's not what they said.
What they say?
Coast Guard is responsible for saving lives and for patrolling the seas.
And you will come.
So they're part of the crime prevention, or they're part of the police. They're part of security.
Yeah, but I don't have issues with them. And I could remember 3 years ago, they say crime prevention, detection is better than prevention. But if you look at the Calico police station, right after the Coast Guard, there's a death trap in waiting there.
In what way?
When I drive across at night between 7 and 8 o'clock, people going to buy the national lottery. They're going to buy bread. They're going to buy the chicken for the other guy who sell it. It's a hub of activities taking place there. And people park anywhere, Christian. People park all and no parking signs. When I go across it, I have to use my experience and hope that nobody run across the vehicle in front of me where I could get myself.
Okay.
That's
That's moving away from our conversation about Coast Guard and patrolling a little bit.
The Coast Guard and the police is right there.
Okay. Now, something else she said about work. We have a minute about employment, right? Yes. Find jobs. The way you get jobs is by creating businesses, which means that the private sector, it has to be a healthy private sector to encourage investment. And then there's foreign direct investment and all these nice things. Now, what if in the ideal situation, ton load of jobs, so many jobs available that we have to bring in people to service the jobs? You don't think that there'll still be that lazy person? Man, that isn't, listen, if people want a job and they cannot find it, they would find a way to either, one, migrate to a country where they can get a job, or two, create a business where they could create jobs. There are some folks who use the excuse of there is no job. There are 1 or 2 people in between. I'm not speaking holistically. In between, who use the excuse there are no jobs, so that they have a right and a free will to be lazy. You're lazy. You don't have a job. Go find something else to do for yourself. The amount of people picking up something, buying and trading online. Go find something to do. No job, make your own. Learn to braid. Learn to do nails. Learn to do hair. Learn to do craft. Learn to make bags. Learn to sew. Learn to make shoes. Learn to do a whole bunch of stuff out there to learn. Learn to make tambourine balls. Learn to make sugar cake. Go and sell. Try something. There's a guy at Bishop's College. You think he's sitting home lazy? Can't find a job. What he do? He make corn dogs. Is your mind? If you want to be gainfully employed, you will find a way. But if you got no vision, what you expect?
I listened to you and I heard the lady said earlier that in our days we should use this colloquial thing that devil find work for idle hand. That is true.
Idle.
And
you're idle and you're lazy.
And I agree that we need to see a little more energy coming from the private sector and who is the engine of growth. the private sector, but the government have to be
Government can't play
responsible
everybody.
to find the enabling environment to encourage folks to get involved. So there are finger pointings, and people have to understand that you have to point your finger at the authorities where they're not putting that energy into the engine of growth, and the engine of growth of things it should be the private sector.
All right, so 901. There are calls coming through, but we can't take them at this time. We're going to end the live and resume after 9. We have to head to the ECCB bank rates at this time. It's brought to you compliments the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Following that, we're going to bring to you last night's 3D and Play 4 draw results. And following that as well, we've got the Searchlight Weekend Edition headlines. All right, let's go.
Brick by brick, piece by piece, building with technology, helping wealth increase, starting small, building the future, doing more every day, doing more together. The bank